Dreams don't just come alive when the conditions are perfect. They come alive when you dare to begin. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Dream Then Do podcast. And today we'll be talking about starting where you are. Most times, a lot of us wait for the perfect conditions. We wait for the perfect time. We wait for the perfect amount of money. We wait for the perfect connections or even the perfect version of ourselves before we begin. But truth is, perfection never really comes. There would always be a reason for you to delay. There would always be an excuse for you to hold back. And the more you wait, the more time passes. Now, it's important to know that time would never wait for you. Time would not pause and say, oh, I'm going to wait until you're ready. No. And you can never have today ever again. So it's important that you actually begin. Now, I've always desired to venture into public speaking, and I would help myself, give myself excuses on why I shouldn't. So top on that list would be the fact that I was shy. And then after that would be the fact that I needed to take more courses. I needed to read about it, learn about it. And the truth is, these are valid excuses, yeah? These are valid reasons why you should actually wait back, build yourself before you start. But the more you actually wait, the more you prolong, the longer you delay, the further your dream drifts away from you. The longer you delay, the more you give yourself excuses or reasons why it won't work or why you don't need to do it. And before you realize what's happening, years have passed by and all you have left with are the what ifs. So what if I did it? What if I had started? What would have happened? You're just left with what ifs. And that's why it's important that you actually begin. Now, I know better. I know that as I start, I would definitely have to overcome my shyness. And not just that, I would also, being someone who does not like to settle, I would also take those courses. I would also read. I would also work on myself to actually ensure that I am the best at what I do and give out the best. But if I just hold back and say I would want to learn those things first before I begin, trust me, that miracle of me overcoming the shyness or leaving my comfort zone would never happen. It's important you actually begin. Now, think of all those people that are great names today, all those people that have achieved success. They had to begin at some point. There was no one that just decided, oh, I'm waiting for the perfect conditions before I begin. Scripture says something. It says, he that observes the wind will not sow. So if you're waiting for the perfect conditions to actually happen, you would never end up taking the step. Now, it's important for you to know this, that as long as the earth remains here, seed time and harvest would never cease. So it's not dependent on the fact that you actually start or you don't start, that harvest will actually come. If you like, you start. If you like, don't start. There will definitely still be a time for harvest. So if you do not start now, when the harvest time comes, you would have nothing to actually reap. That's why it's important you actually sow. Don't observe the wind. Don't observe, oh, the conditions have to be perfect before I do it. No, you can actually start from where you are. And I know sometimes you may not have the resources, you may not have the right connection, or even the confidence to start up. But let where you are now be your training ground. So I remember when I wanted to shoot the first episode of this podcast. I finished shooting and then I would stay and watch the video over and over and over again. And after a while, I just deleted it. I discarded it. So setbacks would actually teach you lessons. Now, every failure, like I always say, should be a feedback, not just a bus stop. So it should be something that you actually pick up, you learn something from. Those setbacks, those failures should just be feedback for you to actually bounce back. There is nobody, according to Mr. Daniel in our last episode, he said nobody just came out of nowhere. Everyone put in effort, they put in tears, resources, time to actually ensure that they become great. But they would never actually attain that greatness if they didn't start. That is why it is important, guys, for you to start. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Now, here's the beauty of starting where you are, yeah? When you start where you are, you give yourself the permission to grow. You allow yourself to make mistakes. You allow yourself to fail. You allow yourself to figure things out. You allow yourself to realize several ways which something cannot work and then discover the way in which it will work. And when you do this, you learn something that opportunity or money can never teach you. You learn experience, and this is more valuable. Trust me, it's important for you to take where you are right now as your training ground. Don't look down on it. Don't despise the days of small beginning. That handful of followers, that little budget, that small room you are can be your training ground. It is your classroom. So use it to learn, maximize it. Don't just wait for everything to fall into place. Maximize where you are currently and then train yourself, sharpen your skills. Use it to build muscles that you would need for the bigger stages in life because they will definitely come. Now just begin and believe that the rest will meet you along the way. And like I said from the beginning, dreams will not just come alive when you have the perfect conditions. Your dreams come alive when you dare to begin. So decide today that on that particular journey, on that particular vision or that particular dream you have, you would begin. Every step you take today is shaping the you for your future tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember, this is Dream Then Do. We dream it, we do it, and we become it. Begin today and see you next Thursday. Bye.